Well, good evening, America, and welcome to It's Happening Out, the world's most popular live gay television show. And it's Wednesday night, it's 8 p.m., and we know what that means. We're getting ready to have some fun. This is Wednesday, October 21st, 2020, and I'm your host of It's Happening Out, moderator Al Ferguson. Before we break right into some of the news, I want to make sure that we do a quick roundabout of our host tonight. You've seen him since day one. I was going to make an age joke, but I won't do that. And that's Power Infiniti. He's our only...
Ain't no age joke to be made here, honey. Porcelain perfect.
I am jealous as all get out. And longtime host, running for the mayor of Wilton Manors, the gayest place on planet Earth, Chef Josie. Good evening, Josie.
Oh, good evening, everybody. Are we ready to get cooking on Wednesday night or what?
Exactly. And we've got three guest hosts with us tonight. Very excited. Of course, this big, beautiful black woman that you see here is one of the most notable drag performers in South Florida. That's Tiffany Fantasia, the house master of the palace on South Beach. Good evening,
House
Tiffany.
master.
House master.
Girl, that sounds like I belong on a plantation. Slave, house master. Oh my God.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that soon too in this show. And of course, the infamous and famous Faye one of my partners in crime that we're doing some of the Q news with. Good evening, Faye.
Good evening. When you said big, voluptuous black woman, I was like, I was ready to take off my mask. I'm here.
Exactly, that is true. And our law enforcement specialist, the big Butch. This is also a drag queen, by the way, America.
Yeah. Hello.
And Mo Laredo.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
And sarcasm is always welcome. Is always an option. I've fallen in love already. And so we are here, the six of us. We're going to entertain you. Sometimes it can be a dark world, things going on in the world. Everybody know what's going on in the world? We are the antidote. It's called It's Happening Out. However, first, we have a special announcement we want to tell you about tonight. Starting Tuesday, November 3rd. You know what day that is? Power, do you know what November 3rd is?
A little something called Election Day.
Yes, exactly. Election Day. And Happening Out Television Network is going to launch the premiere of Good Morning Gay South Florida, 8 a.m. live on all social media channels. Channels. It's going to be a challenge.
That's accurate.
It's a challenge to work with.
Exactly. Oh, we're going to have a fun show here tonight. And then live on demand throughout the rest of the day. Why? Because this show is going to be daily. It's going to be a fun version of Q in the morning, focusing exclusively on the news of gay South Florida, gay South Florida's most interesting LGBTQ personalities. Many of these faces you see, we are going to frequently ask them about what they think is going on in South Florida. It's going to be about gay South Florida groups on social media, gay South Florida charities, only gay South Florida prides, and only gay South Florida fun, including our bars, our restaurants, our parties, our events, our businesses. We are going to shine a light on gay South Florida and lots more. Watch this. Again, nothing's ever been done like it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to really focus on our community here in South Florida. So again, welcome, America. We are going to have lots of fun tonight. This is going to be very entertaining. So thank you for joining us, and it's time to get started with It's Happening Out. Let's begin tonight with Happening Now. It's breaking news, and our breaking news and Happening Now is still the combination of what America's talking about on the LGBTQ world and still reacting to Friday's debate. And we have a few highlights to the national LGBTQ Vote 2020 debate. Voting is our central key issue, and we want to show you a little highlights. Watch this.
I do think I agree with you that we need to stop trying to find divisions within ourselves, but I do think that we need to find ways to respect, understand, and embrace our difference, because it's our difference that really makes us strong. It's our difference that makes us a community, and it's really our difference that helps us to better understand each other, better respect each other, and better move together as a group.
9 unarmed black men were killed by police in 2019. 9 unarmed. Now, unarmed doesn't mean innocent. Unarmed doesn't mean not a threat. So last year, 0.00022% of the black population was an unarmed black person killed by the police. That is why we are burning America to the ground. That is why we are creating this false narrative of black people being attacked by police based off of 0.00022% of the black population.
I ask the audience, we have a live audience, America, we're at Sunshine Cathedral, the largest queer church in the world. We have a live audience representing both sides, both left and right. I ask the audience again to be respectful and polite. And you yelling is not respectful or polite. And this will be your only warning, and I assure you I have the ability to eject you out of this hall. Please, we are happy you're participating, as long as you're respectful and polite. Woo!
Wow, Al.
Well, America, the network, right, has once again proved precisely why we're so vital to the LGBTQ community, as we're the only place capable of platforming both sides of the community. The left, who see Biden as a needed break from Trumpism, and the right, who yearn for Trump's radical thinking to continue on. It was tough at times being the moderator. They pulled me back from vacation to do it. But overall, I think it was a huge success. And interestingly enough, more than 250,000 viewers have watched the debate. We did not know at the time that the Trump Pride event, which we're going to talk about tonight, followed the next day. And it just shows how badly our community needs to come together to win this election. So if you haven't watched it, you should. It is quite interesting. So good evening again, America. You are watching the world's most popular live gay TV show. So many of your favorite stories next tonight on It's Happening Out.
This week on It's Happening Out. Join us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. It all starts right now, live on It's Happening Out.
Well, America, we're live. This is an unedited LGBTQ talk show, and we're going to have a lot of fun with it. Anything can happen as a result. You're going to get to see everything. This is the world's most popular live gay TV show. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and click the bell for updates. On Facebook, like and share the video, or start a watch party. It's super easy to do. Here's how. Watch this.
When viewing our live show in your app, please click share. After clicking share, your screen should change and you can then click watch party. On the next screen, you can write text to your viewing audience and then click start watch party. You've done it. Enjoy your party.
Well, let's have some fun tonight. Let's begin with, as we've always, right from the very beginning, Power and I have sat in this seat for 342 years, and we've always started the show exactly the same way, the meme of the week. And this week's meme of the week is called Blue Sharpies are easy to find, and this is a video that we're going to play. And while we're playing it, does anyone else want to grab some Sharpies?
Nasty.
I will say I have responded to.
But you can't even tell it's a Sharpie. I mean, I actually thought that the sign came that way, and I think it's very appropriate.
Yeah. And,
don't get arrested, though.
Oh my God, I think all signs should look like that.
Our law enforcement officer here in South Florida says, don't get arrested. Don't get arrested.
I have been responding to calls for people stealing and tampering with signs on private property, so
really, Josie, you have experience with this running for mayor in Wilton Manors. Any problems with signs that you're seeing in our city?
Oh my God, you'd think that we were running a national campaign here. The reality of it is about 25 of my signs have continued to disappear. One of my colleagues who's running for commissioner, now they're putting up these just horrific signs saying Mike equals lies under all of his signs around town. It's just ridiculous, guys. Politics is not supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be about the issues. It's supposed to be about the people, and it's about moving our communities forward. And I hate to do a stump speech right now, but I mean, I pump penis is also pretty accurate.
Can you say that again? Josie? You pump what?
With everything she said. Let's be civil. But there's an exception. All right. Let's move.
I find it very telling. Hold on. I find it very telling, however, that the law enforcement cast member on our panel said, "Don't get arrested." But he didn't say don't do it.
Right? Exactly. We're all gay after all, or LGBT.
Just respect private property, that's all.
Exactly. Let's move on out of our meme and play our yes or no game. Now, this is one of my favorite components of our show. It's called I'd Swallow That. Also, something that Power and I have played for 323 years. Our hosts are going to be asked 4 questions. There's one special question between Al and Power tonight that we're going to explore. If our hosts agree, they're going to take a shot. We have vodka shots, I believe. Is that what we're doing today?
Yes.
Vodka? Good.
Look at God.
Tiffany goes, that's just water to me. But we're having vodka shots. If they disagree, they don't take the shot. If they do agree, they take it. Everybody ready? Everybody understands the rules? Let's jump right in. Let's play I'd Swallow That. And we encourage you at home, America, to play right along with us. Question number 1. I can't wait for all of this to be over.
Can I take all 4 now?
And we don't even say what we're talking about. What do you think about it?
I can't wait for this is over. I mean, I'm sorry. I've been clenching my ass so tight that, November 3rd, either a cubic zirconian or a diamond's coming out. All depends on
What are you waiting for? You can't wait to be over. Everybody took the shot?
All of it, honey. The elections, coronavirus, I'm sick of all of it, child. I want to be able to not have to run back to my house and say, I forgot my mask, got to go back. And I'm sick of the craziness on both sides when it comes to politics, and I just want some peace and to make some money. That's all I want to do.
Peace. Oh, and in that order, we'll have peace, and then we'll make some money.
Boom.
Boom.
Shakalaka.
Exactly. Anybody else? Anything else you want to add?
I can't wait till all this rain is gone, okay? It totally rained on my parade this weekend, but of course I made the best of it. And I mean, of course I can feel and empathize with my castmates here tonight. But really, it's the rain on top of it all. So I mean, can I get no sunshine?
Chef Josie, there is no climate issues going on in the world. We're right on the verge of having the largest number of tropical storms in history, but there's nothing going on in climate. Ignore the scientists and the doctors. Just ignore.
Can't wait till all that crazy's done.
All that rain, but Josie's hair hasn't moved since Thursday.
That's good product, girl.
Well, I certainly can't wait. I made a promise 4 years ago after Trump won. I went on social media and publicly said that every single day until Trump is either voted out or kicked out, I was going to rail, I was going to rant, and I was going to speak up and speak out against Trump. And I have kept that promise.
Your word.
All over social media, almost every day I read the dog shit out of Trump. So I have been waiting for this for 4 years. So if anybody can't wait for this to be over, it's this bitch right here.
Yeah, we're all on this page.
What I hope is that once Trump is defeated, that all news networks ignore him, because he is not just going to go away.
Yeah. Well, one thing at a time. Let's focus on
ratings,
November
my dear
3rd,
ratings.
and we can't wait for all of this to be over. Clearly, all of us immediately took the shot. I'd swallow that question number 2. Halloween. Next Saturday night. It's the first Halloween on Saturday night, and wouldn't you know, it would be in a COVID year. First Saturday night in 7 years. Halloween means getting dressed up. That's it. It just means getting dressed up. Do you agree or not? I'd swallow that. Yeah. Everybody took the shot except you took the shot, no?
I did.
Right? Except Power. So let's start with Power. You don't care nothing about Halloween?
Halloween every day for her.
That's right. As a matter of fact, if I wasn't on this show tonight, I wouldn't have even been reminded that Halloween was next week. I'm so focused on November 3rd, I totally forgot that Halloween was next week. Like Tiffany says, for me, Halloween is almost every day of the year. Not this year.
It's a Tuesday for you.
Yeah, so for me, Halloween has never been a big deal. I actually dress down on Halloween.
Dress down means you walk around your house naked? What does it mean?
I walk around. Dale is my costume.
All right, somebody else tell me. Costume a big deal?
Always,
Oh, yeah.
always. And we're South Florida. We go above and beyond. We make 2 or 3 costumes, even if we're just staying at home. See, like
One for each party.
I'm gonna be Carol Baskin this year. All right, like I got the little baby tigers. I got the hair thing. I'm doing it.
I'm not going to be your sidekick because I know what happens to Carol Baskin's sidekick, so I'm not going to be one.
Meat grinder much?
I mean, Al, what better place to be in Halloween than the gayest place on earth? Wilton Manor.
Absolutely.
What a
true.
blast. Seeing every other guy wearing a harness like it's so innovative, and wearing wings and just being half naked.
Yeah.
And the voyeur in me just like totally is giddy as like a kid in a candy store on Halloween.
You know, this is so sad. Last year, I was Harry Potter. I mean, full regalia Harry Potter.
Oh, I gotta see a pic.
Were you one of the professors or were you Harry Potter?
No, I was Harry Potter.
Did you have a wand?
I thought you would have been one of the professors, but go ahead and continue. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Power.
You want to know the other thing the reason I don't really look forward to Halloween is because Halloween is the one day of the year that everybody chooses to dress up in drag. And so I feel like I don't stand out. If everybody else looks super fabulous, like what's in it for me to be one among the many?
Wait,
So
America, let me translate. Let me translate what you just heard.
Please.
Howard, are you ready,
I'm
Faye?
ready.
Power just told us, look, if I cannot stand out, I do not stand out. So therefore, Halloween is irrelevant.
So look, every year on Halloween, a new drag queen is born. So I love it. Some gay guy, or sometimes even straight, gets to find out how hard it is for us to do what we have to do if they want to look right.
Right.
So
exactly.
That's how we get empathy from all these homosexuals and whatnot.
Yes.
And make it through, baby.
Exactly. All right, let's move on to question number 3. And I've got to set question number 3 of I'd Swallow that up. Power Infiniti and I have had a bet that I believe we launched, we hatched, either in Gay Town Hall or it's happening, I don't remember. And basically, Power has been in Facebook jail like dozens and dozens of times. Al has never been in Facebook jail. And as a result, I challenged Power that like 3 months ago, no, you're not going to make it till November 3rd because you're going to keep reading the dog shit out of people and you're going to appear once again in Facebook jail. And he said, oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to stick it and I'm going to stick to it and I'll make it. So we have this bet, and we have this bet that if Power Infiniti goes into Facebook jail, he is going to take me to dinner any place I want to in South Florida, and oh my Lord, it's going to be fabulous, it's going to be gay, it's going to be spectacular, and exactly as Power's embracement of wanting to be center of attention, I'm going to make him center of attention serving me in relation to this fabulous dinner. And it's all because he's going into Facebook jail. And so we have this bet. And I am now beginning to plead because I'm only 14 days away from our November 3rd deadline. And I'm getting a little scared, you know, in terms of, well, maybe I won't win this bet. Oh, I'm going to win this bet. So I'd swallow that question number 3. We ask our host, and Power. Facebook jail, power, parole, and freedom is certain until November 3rd. Al, your toast.
That's a tricky one.
Tricky.
That is very tricky. But you know what? I'm
I'm
sorry,
thinking
Power. You
Alex-
my sister. I'm gonna have to take this shot because you read the dog dookie stank out somebody on Facebook all the time.
No, then you won't drink.
And then it's a don't comment on my post and disagree because I'ma hurt you verbally. I mean, you give verbal lynchings on Facebook, so I would
Verbal
not be
lynchings.
surprised
Power
if
Infiniti
nobody
gives
ends
verbal
up back
lynchings.
back in Facebook jail. Now you got to be specific. Which Facebook profile?
Oh, yeah, well,
That's the-
if
Power
I
has
catch
more
him
than
on
one?
any
got several.
Facebook jail, he loses the bet. But I'm sitting here close with my shot near my mouth. I'm still waiting. Tiffany
Well,
takes
Al
it.
didn't tell you about the other part of the bet. If I win the bet, Al has to take me to whatever restaurant I
See,
want.
we
as
weren't
a-
going to share that part. We
Spend
weren't-
all the money.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Al cannot win this bet because I have deactivated both of my Facebook pages.
Wait a minute, Power.
Yeah.
The
So
shade.
I was just waiting till the broadcast that I did last night to be completed, and I knew that I couldn't even launch it on my own page because as soon as you deactivate the Facebook page, anything that you've done, all your content cannot be seen. So I had somebody else.
Are you
Okay,
really off Facebook?
I am. I have. If you go on and you look
Wait.
try to tag my name will not come up.
Wait a
Dale
minute.
H. Wilson and Dale Wilson have been deactivated. So there's no way that you can
Power.
win because I can't be in Facebook jail if I'm not on Facebook.
No, Power. According to the rules of every single. No, you can't. You can't just deactivate your
You just
page.
can't.
That's not how that works, bro.
Wait, let me.
I don't know. This looks like a little GOP, ground
Tiffany's
rules.
going into Merriam-Webster and reading the definition of bullshit. Right?
Hello, I'm looking up. It's gone.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. This is for the Democrats who are watching. Okay, you got to learn a little bit of these kind of tricks if we're gonna compete with the GOP right now.
Wait a minute.
We got to create some loopholes. We got to see the opportunity.
Oh, wow.
We got to think outside the box. And hey, Power Infiniti, hats off to you. Okay, you ain't gonna get in jail.
Don't
now,
encourage
girl.
him. Wait, did
Ooh.
you just learn that Power
Smart rat.
Infiniti learned from Donald Trump on how to cheat?
I'm sorry. That is the one thing that Donald Trump and I have
Smart
in common. Honey. I don't believe in going low, going high when they go low.
But all right,
Be construed as self-imposed jail time.
Got a point.
Oh, from the mouth. From the mouth.
It's like you turned yourself in.
Interesting.
The
Self-imposed
interpretations
jail time-
continue.
Self-imposed jail time is not Facebook jail time.
Wait.
Facebook.
Wait, you're talking.
So it's like
fast,
house arrest.
Donald.
It's
You're
still-
talking too fast.
So it's like house arrest.
Mo's
can we
observation is
phone a friend?
interesting to me, which means just like the real world, we'll have to send it to the LGBT Supreme Court and see what RuPaul and Michelle say.
Yes, and tell me more about this Facebook jail. Do you get violated in there or anybody, or you gotta hold somebody's pocket or anything? Let me know. I want to know.
You just get to talk to one.
All right. Well, we're gonna. I'm totally shocked here. I hope you all can see. I'm going to drink my shot because I really need a shot right now. The second half of the question, Al, you're toast. However we define that, I think Al is toast. So I'm going to take that part of the shot.
Oh, look at that. 2020, it's
Okay.
trending.
All right. America, stay tuned. There's definitely more to be discussed on this topic. All right. Let's move. Let's move to I'd Swallow That. Question number 4. Big news being discussed about casual sex in COVID-19. And question number 4 says, I'll be sad if gay bathhouses that survived AIDS and the AIDS pandemic do not survive in COVID-19. New study report shows that they're closing left and right. I'll be sad.
I'll be very sad
How come, Tiffany?
because where I'm gonna go now. Look, I'm not gonna lie. Yes, I do go to bathhouses every once in a while when I want to feel free and do my thing, and then get in the hot tub after. But you know, I don't want them to go. You know, I mean, I don't. Why? For what? You know, I don't think they should go. They need to stay open. We need to do what we can to help them stay open.
The study showing the percentage of businesses like that that are closing is because of COVID-19. Not only in terms of imposed rules by municipalities and government, but also because of fear concerns. For the LGBT community in bathhouses, studies are showing, polling is showing, that we're much more concerned about COVID than we were about HIV or AIDS, which I think is fascinating.
Funny how that is. I mean, I drank the shot because I would be super sad. I told you guys before that, you know, most of my favorite porn takes place at bathhouses. So I'll be super sad when, you know, if bathhouses are closed. But, you know, we adapt. We know how to adapt. We know how to pivot. How about wearing a body condom or something to go in there? We can figure something out.
Or we can go to Power's house.
And just like every other business that's been affected by, I didn't drink the shot, because the reality of it is it's time for bathhouses to rise to the occasion. And that might be an unpopular, perspective and opinion. But the reality of it is that many of us businesses, I'm a small business owner as well, we've all been forced to adapt to the new situation. Maybe the bathhouse is going to look a little different now, you know? And so let's do it, guys, okay? Don't close your doors. Don't shutter. Step up to the challenge and evolve with the times.
I mean, those that are able to open, they have adapted. I mean, you can't go into the sauna anymore. You can't go into the hot tub. You can't go into the steam room. And the play areas are shut off. You only have the rooms, and if it has a pool, you can go to the pool, and you have to wear your mask when you're inside.
You know, Tiffany, I'm
Maybe it's
very
time to serve
impressed about
food
how
like
much you
everyone
know
else.
about what's currently going on.
I told you, I go, and I've been, but you know, there's others where the rules are still all over the place. Like, for instance, Steamworks in Chicago, they're not opening yet because they're like, we still feel it's not safe. The rules are all over the place, so we're not going to open yet.
America, can I suggest to you, you learned so much in I'd Swallow That. We listened to Power talk about politics, and he gives you expert summary and analysis. I talk about current events and things that are going on, and you get expert analysis. And with Tiffany, you find out what's going on in the bathhouses. I think it's fascinating.
I'm gonna back up Tiffany here as well. I am also a bathhouse Betty. Not now, but I have made a wonderful career of being a Gold Star VIP Platinum member.
You're a Gold Star gay.
Every bathhouse that I have ever toured in, from here to Australia. One thing about me, if I go to a city, I've always checked out the bathhouse.
That's why you my sister, girl.
There's no shame. So I would really be sad if, even though I don't go now, I would be sad if bathhouses closed, because bathhouses are such a staple of our community.
Culture.
Whether you like them, whether it's your thing or not, it's so important to so many people. It's just woven into the fabric of
Listen, I'd go with you boys if I was allowed, okay? But that doesn't work.
And actually, I've been out and about with you, so I know that is true. You know, Power, Honestly, in all seriousness, I think from a gay culture standpoint, your observation is a bullseye, because I have defended gay culture, LGBT culture, in that experience, because so many of my straight friends go, I don't get it, I can't believe. And at the end of the day, most of the time their comments are, I am just bloody jealous that the LGBT community has these kind of opportunities and we don't. And so that's what.
Funny part is straight
Hold on,
people have
one
swinger
second.
clubs.
Y'all see my pussy?
there. Yeah.
That's a dark pussy.
Yes. All right, let's move out of I'd Swallow That. That was fun. By the way, on question 3 about Facebook jail, we're going to explore it more. We're going to explore. All right, so now let's catch up with some of the news going on from Hollywood and the world of entertainment. And we call this segment Celebrity Hot Topics. And our Celebrity Hot Topics topic that we're going to discuss this week is an interesting one. We refer to her as that bitch, and we have for months and months and months, all through 2020. That bitch, Carol Baskin. She revealed this week that she identifies in the LGBTQ community as a bisexual, and she doesn't believe in gender identification. Watch this.
I have always considered myself to be bisexual. Even though I've never had a wife, I could just as easily have a wife as a husband. As far as the way I feel about us, I think we are all one, and that we are all, I just don't see us as being different genders or different colors or different anything. It's not a matter of what your sexual preferences are. This man is just a deviant in the way that he treats human life and animal life, and that it's all about him. It doesn't have anything to do with any of the communities that he may associate himself with.
There are so many things wrong with that video, so many things. Carol Baskin has revealed that she identifies as bisexual. As she admits there, she also said that she doesn't believe in gender or she doesn't believe in color. Is she being authentic or just trying to get the attention from the LGBTQ community? What do y'all think?
We don't want her. We don't want her. Heteros, you can keep her. I don't want none of my sisters in a freaking meat chipper or meat grinder in the future. Nah, no.
Was she hanging out with Eric Trump or something? Is she trying to stay relevant? What? Who cares? Why is this news?
I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, no tea, no shade. When I first saw the documentary, I thought she swung a little to the lesbian side.
Why?
To begin with, before I started hearing about her husband. Oh, she got, okay. But yeah, I filed that under is I really don't care, but thank you for your information.
But representing the lesbian community here, I want to know what was it about her that made you think she was going to the left, like you said?
No, she looked like she was from the left, not going to the left. She looked like she was from the left.
I mean,
what was it that gave
she has an affinity for pussy.
That
Cat.
this was the cats' first thing. The big love for cats.
She's a
So she loves her pussy. So already she already told y'all she loved pussy. Big thank you.
She loves a big pussy.
Somebody connect the dots.
Carol Baskin loves cats and therefore is big cats and therefore is a big
I mean, but
bisexual.
you don't just love them, she loves. So now it all makes sense.
Now it all makes sense.
I mean,
Well,
she
even
Make a pussy
even
purr
if
with the
she's-
stroke of her hand.
even if she's not being authentic, which I take her at her word, and even if she's not,
You
not
do?
being authentic, I take her at her word. You know,
Really?
if she says she's bisexual, I don't have any reason to doubt her. But even if she's not being authentic, I think it's really cool that right now we are so fab and we are all the rage that somebody would even want to lie about that to say, yeah, I am too. You know, I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot more sexually fluid people than people want to admit.
I'm curious. Allow me, please, to take one of these really quick It's Happening Out flash polls. Is this the last story we're ever going to, yes or no, please, is this the last story we're going to hear from Carol Baskin?
No.
Mo?
God,
No.
No.
Tiffany? No.
Nope.
Faye?
No.
And Chef Josie? No. And Power?
Nope.
So we haven't heard the last of Carol Baskin. Where can he go?
Oh, they're going to
from
find
here?
her ex-husband.
All right, America, let's move on out of our celebrity conversation, right? We want to thank the Best Western at I-95. They're a principal sponsor of It's Happening Out, and all of our guests and our friends that come to South Florida, they stay here. Last week, they were full of Republicans from #WalkAway, and we thank Best Western for doing that for us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, Happening Out Television Network tonight is broadcasting from our permanent set. It is a partnership. And by the way, when COVID does tamper down, we're going to invite lots of you, America, here in this permanent set. We can have a cocktail party at our set for 150 people. Lots of fun things are coming. And this is because of a partnership we have with Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church here in Fort Lauderdale and Wilton Manors, Florida. We always joke that this is the gayest place on planet Earth, and all you have to do is look at Mo and know that that is true. Our support of their Sunday celebration is the largest LGBTQ religious broadcast in the world. 30-some thousand people every week, every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and it's completely live. We encourage you to tune in, and Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church. Watch this.
My name is Mark Ketchum. I am the past executive director of SunServe. Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church. Thank you.
I don't know if you saw the story, by the way, on NBC6 last Sunday. Tiffany came to the Sunday service, and as she crossed the threshold at Sunshine Cathedral, burst into flames. Very, very interesting.
And like the phoenix, I rose again. And I'm still here. I may be black.
Yeah.
I may be old.
You know,
Hell, I may even be ugly. But I'm here. God damn it, I'm here.
Amen.
You know, I've got to quit this gig when I tell a really good joke and someone just crushes me with a better joke. I'm just saying, that's what it is.
Hey, you left yourself wide open now.
Right,
Went
exactly. All right, and we also want to thank Concepto Modern Living for helping us create this great new set on this incredible queer church campus. Our production team, moving on, pays a lot of attention to many things that are going on in the world, and that is interesting. And we've created a segment. We've done this right from the very beginning, called Best Thing of the Week. And I haven't seen this video we're getting ready to show you, but it is called When Bae Dresses Inappropriate for Halloween. Best Thing of the Week. Watch this.
Hey, trick or treat! What are you wearing? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What are you wearing? My costume! That's not your costume! Yes, it is. I'm a conejita this year. I told you I wanted to be one. That's not what we agreed on, though. We said Super Mario and Peach. Peach? Peach, like from Super Mario. Are you kidding me? Baby, but that's what we agreed on. No, that's what you agreed on. You didn't even consult me. I bought you the dress. Okay, I'm not gonna dress like I'm a quinceañera. I'm an older lady. I wanna dress like, a conejita. I wanna be like dress inappropriate. Inappropriate? Yeah, you wanna dress look at you. This is very appropriate for how I look and how I feel, okay? I'm a dress like this, okay? I've been going to the gym. I feel really good about my stuff. And you're not gonna ruin it because you're dressed like a mechanic. I'm all Super Mario. He's iconic. He doesn't look super to me. You're wearing gloves. That's part of it. Okay, well, I'm not Super Mario. I'm Conejita girl. My nipple's coming out.
But baby, put it away.
I'm trying, but you're making me really anxious.
Okay. Well,
like I have to have like my shoulders. I have to have like my cleavage. This is the costume, okay? And tell me that I look beautiful.
I mean,
you mean?
How about we don't go to the party? We go back inside the house, and Super Mario can try to chase this little bunny right here.
You are too much. Stop touching me with those gloves. Okay, let's go.
To the party, to the house?
To the house first and then the party.
All right, let's go, baby. Shit!
That is so cute. I love
And her last line when she was asked to the party or to the house, and she said to the house first and to the party. That's exactly what I would say.
That's the power. Live that moment. Has anyone ever planned couples costumes where you do Halloween, you do the parties as a couple?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Have you done? Nope. Anybody did a really great one?
One year I was Burt Reynolds and my wife was Dolly Parton. And if anyone knows my wife, everyone knows that she is a huge fan of Dolly Parton. So Dolly Parton, if you're listening, all she wants is just 1 minute with you, okay? And not like that.
Right.
I want it like that. 1 minute.
All right. Let's move on to our segment that we do called What's on Your Mind. And I really enjoy this segment because it allows me to touch base with the host and find out broadly all kinds of things that they think are important this week. And we ask each of the hosts to tell us in just 30 seconds, please, short sound bites of what is important to them this specific week. Everybody understand? So what's on your mind? Let's start with Power. He's in virtual, so let's begin with you. What's on your mind, Power?
Well, I would like to pick up where we left off with the fact that I look forward to this dinner that you're going to be giving me. This deactivation was on my part, so it ain't no house arrest, because house arrest has to be mandated by somebody. I chose it. That's the first thing. The second thing is, everybody, please, 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 voting has started in Florida. Voting started early this week. Please get out there and vote. A friend of mine actually said that today was a great day to vote because the weather was so bad and nobody was there. He was in and out of there in 2 minutes. So if you're having bad weather, if you can get a chance to get away when, in the middle of the day when nobody's there, go out, vote. You don't have to worry about standing in line. Just make your voice be heard.
Absolutely. And America, let me take the opportunity of something I rarely do. I want to comment on what's on Power's mind because I want to make 2 quick observations. First, over the next 2 weeks, you'll be hearing my voice a lot on this subject and not Power's because he no longer exists in social media, first. And second, I just want to bring back to our conversation from I'd Swallow That now we have had the election on November 3rd. On November 4th, President Trump is going to presumably lose the election, and he's naturally going to turn to the Supreme Court to physically force in what he wants, and I shall do the same. I will turn to the Supreme Court with Chief Justice RuPaul and Chief Justice Michelle Visage, and we will see what the conclusion will be. Stay tuned, America, and you'll only hear my voice because only my voice still exists. Thank you, Power. We'll see. It's going to be fun. All right. But above all else, Power and I joke, we want to win the election. Everything else is secondary. We want to win the election. What's on your mind? Let's move to Chef Josie. Chef Josie, what's on your mind this week?
With less than 2 weeks left before the election and me being in my first ever campaign, I use this moment to reflect on the journey that has brought us to this moment. And I recognize the gravity and really just the honor of being able to be a part of the process in this way. And I highly encourage anyone who's out there, whoever hears that call to do something for their community, whoever decides to contribute to the world we're living in and be a part of the solution as opposed to a part of the problem, I highly encourage you, and hopefully my run will inspire your run, and let's get involved, people. It's time for the people to mobilize because the politicians have had this game locked down for a long time. So there's still time, and if you're here in the gayest place on planet Earth, I say vote Josie for mayor, and that's November 3rd. Thank you, guys.
All right, and what's on your mind, Mo, this week?
It was awe-inspiring to see on the first week of early voting in South Florida. It's monsoon season here. If you folks that are not from South Florida, it's been downpouring nonstop. To see the elderly in line for hours with umbrellas, to see folks just not being deterred and just standing fast and standing in line for, just to cast their vote. We were told bring in our riot gear at work as a precaution with this election season, but I have faith that the American people, that we're going to behave and we're not going to get sucked into some stupid brawls with whoever out there.
From your mouth, let's hope you're right. And Tiffany, what's on your mind this week?
I am so over the COVID confusion. From state to county to local, they're all disagreeing with each other and they can't get it right, and I want them to get it right so we can figure out how to navigate and move forward. Me being in the nightlife industry, we're the ones who are hurting the most, and once we finally get one door open, they take it back and they move this and move that. It's just some type of consistency so that we can move forward and live our lives.
Yeah. And Faye, what's on your mind this week?
Well, aside from voting, of course, there's three things that Faye just loves: women, shoes, and dogs. All right, and there's a lot of dogs out there that need homes. During the quarantine, a lot of people got dogs and fostered them, and that was a beautiful thing. And I actually helped find homes for a bunch of dogs during that time. And now a lot of people are having financial difficulties, and they're bringing the pups back. Before you do that, there's help out there. There's a lot of organizations that are giving out free food and free medical to vets. I was going to say to children. There are our children, to dogs out there. So, and if you're lonely and you're not ready to be out in the clubs and out in the crowds yet, go foster a pup. Go take care of a pup. You will not know unconditional love until you have a pet.
Lovely sentiment. Tonight on let's move on. And tonight on It's Happening Out, let's explore the hot topic of the week that we want to talk about. Actually, a couple of things. First, today is International Pronouns Day. Watch this.
Why do I have to share my pronouns? Aren't mine obvious?
Sometimes pronouns are assumed based on someone's gender, but we can't always tell based on their appearance. And besides, some people use non-binary pronouns.
What are non-binary pronouns?
Non-binary pronouns are pronouns that aren't necessarily associated with a gender. There are many different non-binary pronouns, but you may have heard people use they, them, theirs.
So how do I know what people's pronouns are and how I should use them?
It's as simple as asking people what their pronouns are and how they use them.
That sounds easy enough. I'm just afraid I'm gonna mess up though.
It does take a bit of practice, but just correct yourself and move on.
So what else can I do to better support folks?
So one thing that you can do is introduce yourself with your pronouns. And if you're in a class or a meeting, you can ask that other people do the same. This is a great way to give other people an opportunity to say their pronouns, and it can bring up the conversation for people who might not have had it before.
That's a great idea.
Well, pronouns and their use has become a hot topic in media and political debates. Do your pronouns matter to you? What do you think of pronoun usage in this national recognition? What do y'all think?
I think it's important, that I just added it to my signature on my email. I put, those are my pronouns. I put at the end of my signature on all my emails. I think it's important, and I love that video. What a great way, you don't know, so you start introducing yourself as such. I think that was beautiful.
Yeah, we're trained in the police department to respect the wishes of the public, however they want to be addressed. Case in point, I had a dispatch about 2 weeks ago, a domestic dispute over two sisters fighting over custody of the mom with dementia. And I didn't even realize it at first, but one sister was saying, well, he's actually a man and this and that. And I'm like, well, how do you wish to be addressed? He says, well, I am Miss So-and-so. And I'm, well, that's how I will address you. So the other sister got mad, and it didn't really matter to me. That's not
I don't
her
know
problem.
if y'all, to that point, as an example, I don't know how closely you followed all of the debate, the mini debate topics on Friday night. One of the big issues for the Republicans, and especially LGBT Republicans in #walkaway, is the use of queer and the identification of queer. And they absolutely oppose it completely. It is not an acceptable word in identification. And at Friday night's debate, Brandon Strzok, the founder of #walkaway, said it's a disgusting term. And his point is so reviled over the use of the term, he absolutely couldn't consider it. And it's a very popular term. And how do you ever have commonality when you're going to say a pronoun is disgusting in the way it's used?
Well, and it's very interesting. I can't believe that I'm going to even say this, but I can, on that one topic, I can understand. But here's the difference. So for me, the word queer, I still come from that generation where queer was a word that was an insult. Okay, I remember growing up and I remember hearing the word queer used like today somebody would say faggot. And, going forward, if in a couple of years, if all of a sudden we said we reclaim the word faggot, and now we put that into our acronym and people identify, I would not look at that as something that I'm proud of. But the way I navigate it is, okay, for me, the word queer still has a little bit of a sting. So it's not something that I identify as, it's not something that I use. Usually when I'm writing out our acronyms, I'll write LGBT plus. I won't use queer, but that's for me. I do respect that other people might identify as queer, and I've come to a point where, okay, it's not for me, but I cannot tell other people how to identify, and I cannot put my hang-ups on a word on somebody else. So if it's all right for you, then fine. For me, I just don't. It's not something I use.
What do you think about to Power's point? Let's piggyback a step farther to Power's point. Okay, Power makes the observation on the use of queer. What do you think about the they them?
They them is so confusing to me. I've tried. I'm in that cusp of age and whatnot, and I'm used to the term androgynous, and the they them always throws me off. So I try to say person with as much as I can instead of having to use those pronouns, because I'm like, well, girl, I only see one person, so what's this they stuff? So it throws me off. So I use a person as much as I can. But back to what Power was saying, it kind of goes back to the N-word for the black community. And right now we struggle with somebody calling it to us in a negative term and us using it as everyday speech to refer to somebody or in our rap music. And I feel that 10, 15 years from now, the word queer is going to have that same issue where people are going to be using it negatively. And we're like, well, you can't say that. Well, you say it all the time. And I think at the end of the day, it is better for us to not use it.
Any final thoughts about international pronoun?
I had to introduce a national recording artist that I won't say who it was, but I had to introduce them on stage, and that was very difficult. Kind of like what Tiffany said, I felt that grammatically I was speaking out of sorts, But just like the video said, I guess practice makes perfect. Yeah. You practice at this.
Well, and to really get into it, because we have a lot of our straight allies who are watching this show tonight, you probably will notice that it's as confusing for us as it is for probably you, who don't have that historical conversation happening within the community. Even within our own community, we're having a challenge deciphering and understanding how to adapt. Terrific. And the new generation, the Generation Zers, and it started with the millennials, I believe, was this transformation and evolution of language. And so, that's what's happening right now, is our vocabulary is evolving, and it's just going to take time for it all to settle in. And I think that that's where we're at.
Let's.
I'd like to just say one last thing. I think everybody on this panel I don't want to speak for everybody, but I think what I'm getting from everybody in this panel, I think we're all in consensus, in a consensus that, even if some of the words might be a little bit challenging for us, even though we might not personally identify as those words or personally might not agree with them, I think all of us have a respect for everybody else that, okay, even if I don't understand it, it's something that it means something a lot to you, it's impactful to you, so I'm going to respect it for you. And I think that's really the crux of it. We need to respect everybody else, regardless of how we feel. If it hurts you, if it offends you, then we should respect that and respect how you want to be identified.
One simple question is just ask, how would you like to be addressed? Fixes everything.
And if it bothers you, say so. I don't like the D word. I don't like when somebody calls a lesbian a dyke. I hate that word. But some people proudly own it. Okay, go for it. I personally don't like it.
Yeah. An interesting conversation, and of course the value of the day in terms of drawing attention so we can have conversations just like this. Let's move on to a second main hot topic that we want to discuss tonight, and that is what happened the day after our National LGBTQ Vote 2020 debate. We held this debate, as I already told you, nearly 250,000 people watched the debate. 27,000 watched live, mostly through Republican platforms, by the way. The next day, they moved right, the debate was held here at Sunshine Cathedral, the gayest place on planet Earth. The next day, right up the road to our cousins in Tampa, Tiffany Trump's speech created some sensation because they held what was called Trump Pride. And it was a total train wreck. Before we talk about it, watch this.
So now I'm here to speak to you because I've educated myself. I understand what I believe in now, because I'm not going to speak about politics or policies until I have my own beliefs. And guess what? I'm here, standing here for a reason. And people can say whatever they want to say, but I'm here because I support my father. He supports all of you. And we are here to fight for equality, democracy, to keep America and make it better. Yes, Trump Pride! I wish I had some hats. I was like, I want to throw out I also really want a Trump Pride hat. If anyone has one, want to come give me one.
Well, we never expected much when we heard about this from the Trump Pride event that occurred in Tampa this weekend. Despite our lax expectations, Tiffany Trump's speech at the event was somehow both under and overwhelming simultaneously. She seemed noticeably nervous despite the small crowd, and her train of thought about Trump's support of the LGBTQ community was barely coherent. It's difficult to blame her when Trump's track record itself for the gay community is just as confusing. Most curiously, Tiffany consistently omits the T from the acronym, which at this point is likely no accident. Now that we've discussed some of the issues related to Trump Pride, what did y'all think? The appropriation of the word pride itself and what they were trying to do. What do y'all think?
Blasphemy. Blasphemy. I don't think that Trump and pride should be on the same side at all. Like, should be on the same sign at all. Like, it's just, and what was she on? Guys, please tell me. She was on something, right? Am I the only one who thought that?
No, she was definitely, I don't know if she just like broke up with a boyfriend or something, because she sounded like she had a little crack in her voice. Crack, I don't know. But, you know, there was like a little crack in her voice, like she had been crying all night, and like maybe somebody was threatening her life behind stage. I don't know.
What gets on my nerves?
She had been partying the whole week in Miami. She had been partying the whole week in Miami for her birthday, and I'm quite sure she was still partying or still high or whatever when she took this gig. But you know, it's funny because they always try to roll out these tokens. You know, a token event here, a token bitch on in his administration there. And like I said last night, if somebody shakes your hand, all right, and then while they're shaking your hand, they're taking a machete and chopping you in the back. And then they say to you, well, you know, I shook your hand, so don't worry about those stab wounds in the back. Are you actually going to sit there and fall for that? Of course not. You're going to be more impacted by the stab wounds in your back than by the handshake that was in front of you. So these little throw outs, these little dog bones that they throw us to say, well, we support you. Meanwhile, as Al said, she conveniently forgot to mention the T. In August of 2019, the Department of Justice filed a brief in the U.S. Supreme Court arguing that a federal law does not prohibit discrimination against transgender persons based on their transgender status. And on and on and on. 3 years of the Trump administration's discrimination against our community have been enacted in policy or attempts against us to strip us of our rights. So you can't do that for 3 motherfucking years and then come 2 or 3 weeks before the election and say, my father supports you. How the fuck do you have to support us?
Yeah.
But she's going to go like, woo, I want to drop off. I want to throw some hats at you right now, because that's where we're at, guys. We need to wake up, okay? We can't be so easily persuaded by getting a free hat. Oh, your swag bag's at the door on the way out.
Did you say a free hat or free head?
I mean, the only way Trump has ever supported LGBTQ community is when he had to hire a drag queen for a special event, or when it came to hiring somebody in the corporate office because they didn't have a wife or kid and you could work them like a slave. That's the only time he has ever supported the LGBTQ community. And we do not claim, the Tiffany's of the world do not claim that Tiffany. Let's get that straight, because she's a mess. She is a mess. I mean, I'm not going to talk about policy or you can't, because your father has done everything in his power, and the Republicans have done everything in their power to shut us down and rail us back. So you can't talk about it. It just gets on my nerves.
And let's be real, we're pulling the freaking 4th string quarterback, Tiffany. Who the fuck is Tiffany Trump?
The other
I don't even know who the hell she was until.
That's the unwanted Trump.
I'm like, really? That's what you're going to throw to the LGBT? Is like, come on.
Trump. That's what I said. I said it's like using Donna Kardashian to freaking do pull your makeup line. I mean, who is this? Come on. And she looks like a blow-up doll.
And Al, it's not by accident. Is the administration has forced every department to omit the word transgender for the 4 years since they've been in office. They're not allowed to even say transgender.
I'm going to give you a final thought. What were you going to say?
Let's not forget that this year we had to carry our fight all the way to the Supreme Court, so that we could have a federal law which prohibits discrimination based on sex, and to have it included in sexual orientation and gender identity. We had to fight for that right in the Supreme Court, and the ones that we were fighting against was the Trump administration. We already have 2 justices on the Supreme Court right now that have already motioned and signaled that they would like to relitigate the marriage equality, and all they are doing is begging for somebody to bring it to them. And now with a 6-3 conservative to liberal Supreme Court, it does not bode well for us. So you cannot continue to take actions against the community while saying you love them. It doesn't make motherfucking sense.
Yes.
Sit down, Tiffany.
Can I take a highlighter and highlight Power's soundbite there? Let me just echo what Glad has found. This is not it's not insignificant. Glad's reporting shows that 74% of the LGBTQ community currently support Biden and Harris. 17%. It's not 4 or 5. 17% of the LGBTQ community support Trump and Pence. The most important statistic of all, through at least Friday, 9% of the LGBTQ community is undecided. Wow. And at this point, in 2020, in mid-October, how are 9% still undecided? Make a frickin' decision, and that's what's up for grabs. And very likely, the reporting is, especially in Florida, if whoever wins that 9% is going to likely win Florida, and if you win Florida, you're likely going to be president of the United States. So what Power just said is super important. Second observation that I want to make about this entire thing, just a personal one. I'm referred to, you can see my moniker right now in this slide that you're looking at is Gay Guru. I have been around since the dinosaurs in the gay community. Okay, I get it. However, this event offends me. And it's not that they don't have the right to. Richard Grenell came, top LGBT official ever for a White House administration. It doesn't offend me that they came and spoke. It does not offend me that they had a rally. What offends me is they appropriate our culture. Trump pride, no president ever in history has tried to make or appropriate a word like pride with their name. They do it because they don't care. And that offends me. I'm totally offended. And I'm going to do everything I can in the next 14 days to express my offense. Let's move out of this topic and do a topic called Saved by the Bell. We've talked about the big hot topics that we think are important this week, and now we play Saved by the Bell. And what is going to happen in Saved by the Bell is we're going to do a little lightning round, a little faster, LGBTQ topics in the news or topics that we are going to put a gay slant on. And this week they are in the headlines, and we're only going to do 60 seconds. And I have a bell here, appropriately red and blue. And after 60 seconds, no matter what, I'm going to ring the bell, and we end the conversation on that topic and move on. Everybody understands what we're going to do? All right, here we go. Topic number one, headline number one this week. It's HBCU Out Loud Day, celebrating LGBTQ pride on historically black college campuses. What do y'all think?
Love it, love it, love it.
Love it. The black community, we need this.
Yeah.
You know, this is a big issue, LGBT in the black community. So I love this. This is something that people can grow from and learn from, and hopefully, you know, it can start to come build that bridge.
Yes, it is a big deal. This is not to be understated. This is a big deal for the black community to recognize our LGBT plus community, because I have always said, I've been very outspoken. I said what I said. I don't care who likes it or who doesn't. The black community, they treat the LGBT community like white racists treat blacks. They have been very, very problematic when it comes to our community. I have many times stepped out of a club on South Beach when I've been working and had bottles thrown at me and Kitty, been called faggot, you know, more so by my black brethren than white people. So this really shows a progression in our race, the fact that we can at least acknowledge and start to have some education and start to have some embracement of our LGBT community within the black race. It's a big deal.
All right. In Saved by the Bell, headline number 2 this week, Joe Biden makes a pledge to protect trans people and reverse Donald Trump's executive orders.
Well, thank God. I mean, that's why we're all voting, because we're hoping someone can turn this mess around. And, you know, just like Donald Trump, and look, you can take a look at the history of our country. Every single sitting president has come in, and it's that power of the pen. There's a reason why we understand it that way. It's because presidents come in with their agendas and they create these executive orders. Donald Trump has created so many executive orders, the most in history in his first year in office. So Biden, you have such the job. I hope that you take on every single person you ran against during the Democratic primaries and you put them in your cabinet, because this is time for the Legion of Superheroes to take over.
And I want to add to that, all the top military generals and Joint Chiefs of Staffs went against Donald Trump when he imposed the ban on transgender in the military. They were welcome. The generals accepted LGBT, and Donald Trump, for whatever reason, decided he wanted to get rid of the trans community.
Headline topic number 3 in Saved by the Bell. It's my favorite story of the week. Pat Robertson predicts Trump is going to be reelected, and it's going to spark the book of Revelations, and the world is going to end.
Can he just die already? I'm like, damn, Pat. Like, girl, you too old to be making these foolish assumptions. It's crazy. Let it go, baby. Let it go.
And Al is always saying how him and Power are so old. You guys are youngins in comparison to this dude. Look at him.
No, and listen, if we're really serious about this, if we're really serious about this, Pat Robertson already signed his soul over to the devil, and that's why he's still sitting in front of us preaching this craziness. Okay?
How are you going to say?
You know, the the Bible warns us against false prophets, and if you do
Yeah.
read the Bible, you actually know what the Bible says about the end times and how the world is going to end, and it's nothing like what this dumb bitch is saying. So he's already a chop. Let's move on.
All right.
Stop sending him
I'll
money.
follow. Power told me to move on. I'm moving on. Next, Saved by the Bell headline this week. New Zealand. Have you heard? The elections of the new Prime Minister in New Zealand and their parliament may prove that New Zealand is, in the same joke that we tell in Fort Lauderdale in South Florida, New Zealand is the gayest place on planet Earth. 9% of their parliament is now gay.
And we here at It's Happening Out are officially announcing that we will be moving to New Zealand.
Look at God!
Come November 4th, if
I want to move into one of those Hobbit houses.
Let's do it.
Yeah, they've practically solved COVID, and they elect 9%, the largest parliament that represents LGBT in the entire world. I want to go there.
Al, I have a question for you. Have you ever been to New Zealand, and how hard would it be for anybody to immigrate there?
No problem at all. And in fact, I've traveled to 147 countries.
Wow.
Always when I'm asked, I've been to New Zealand 4 times, and always when I'm asked, where's my favorite place in the world to travel? I've always said New Zealand.
Really?
It is absolutely spectacular. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
I could be an extra in a movie over there.
All right, New Zealand. Our last Saved by the Bell tonight is an interesting one in Canada. 100 teenaged high school boys turn up to school in skirts to protest homophobia, sexism, and toxic masculinity. I think we're going to show something about that. What do y'all think about showing up? 100 teenage high school boys showing up in skirts.
they just wanted to dress in drag for
There's
one
the
day.
Good for them.
Or they wanted to air out their balls. Maybe they just wanted to air out their balls.
I hope they wore underwear.
I don't.
Yeah, but look, this is another example of what the next generation, that we're not thinking about right now. This is what they're thinking about, guys. You know, the next generation, the Generation Zers and the millennials, these guys are woke, okay? They're thinking beyond, and they have the capacity and the resources to research anything that they're curious about. So we cannot underestimate the next generation, and I may not always agree with them, but I know that they are going to do something great when they take over this.
Oh goodness, I hope you're so right. I am one of the most critical voices in America, in LGBT America, on Gen Zers and millennials. But my sharp criticism is because I want them to lead us. We need them to lead us, and that's why I'm so sharp. Interesting conversation, and we congratulate those 100 young men. Let's play another game. Let's move out of our Saved by the Bell, and let's play a game that Mo is just dying to play, and it's called Shag, Marry, Chop. Everybody knows what this is. If you've not watched us before It's Happening Out, Power basically crashed this show one time playing this game, and the Secret Service came swooping in. But now we play Shag, Marry, Chop. It's a little milder version of the game, and it's a game that asks our host who they want to do, why they want to do it, and what exactly do they want to do with them. 3 different people. So let's play Shag, Marry, Chop. Tonight's subjects are all, hey, Halloween is right on the horizon, so we thought it would be fun to have a Shag, Marry, Chop of horror movie hotties. So that's what we're going to do. Horror movie hotties. First is Lewis from Interview with the Vampire. We're talking about the characters now. Lewis.
Oh, the characters.
And then David from The Lost Boys, another vampire.
Love David.
And then George Lutz. Oh, look at this boy. And y'all know who that is.
Wow.
From the Amityville Horror.
Yeah.
Lewis, David, or George Lutz? And let's play Shag, Marry, Chop, and Power. Since you're in virtual, let's start with you. Who are you going to shag?
Well, This one is an easy one for me. First of all, I'm going to shag George Lutz, but I'm going to make sure it's a long shag experience. Like we're, like for a few days. So it's going to be a couple weeks of shagging. Then after a couple weeks of shagging, I'm going to leave him and I'm going to marry Louis from Interview with the Vampire. I'm definitely going to marry Louis because Louis has super strength, super powers, and I would
And a
enjoy
heart. And a heart.
And a heart.
No, he doesn't have a heart. He's a vampire. He doesn't have a heart.
All right.
He would bite the shit out of me every night. And I have never liked, what's his name? The other one from
Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah, his cheeks are too puffy for me. So stop.
All right. Okay. All right. So a real hard choice. You get 2 weeks with Ryan Reynolds, and then you move into the rest of your life with Brad Pitt. Really hard choices. Power.
Right.
All right, Chef Josie, tell us who would you like to shag first?
At first I was going to follow suit here with Power, but I'm going to tell you, I have to go with my heart and go with my gut. So I'm totally shagging Louis, okay? I mean, I've been a huge vampire fan, and it's like one of my favorite characters in horror. Louis, I mean, and underneath that all, he turns into Brad Pitt, so we're good.
We're good.
And
who are you marrying?
I'm going to marry David, and that's another one. That's like classic right there, okay? The Lost Boys, I can still hear the soundtrack in my headset. Well, not this one, but in my head. And he's fabulous. And, if you've seen him in, he does another show, and he's good in
Now, I have to stop you a moment because, America, you're getting ready to see exactly the unique diversity and differences in the LGBT community. Because the lesbian is getting ready to tell us that she is going to chop Ryan Reynolds. Go ahead, Chef Josie, explain that one to us.
I'm chopping him. Quite frankly, he looks a little too straight for me. And I'm just like, I'm just going with the vampires now. I'm not into the werewolves. I'm into the vampires. Okay, that's it.
You're not into the muscle boys.
No, I am, but I'm just picking my vampires right now.
Okay, all right. And Tiffany Fantasia, who are you going to shag?
I am shagging George
Lutz, all right.
Yeah. I mean, he seems like you could just slide right in.
You'll know in a moment why Tiffany is shagging, because it's getting ready to come up. I've watched this reel about 340 times.
See it.
And then I'm going to marry, what's the blonde one?
Louis.
Yeah,
Brad Pitt.
No.
You're doing David.
The blonde. Yes.
Sutherland.
I'm gonna do him.
Okay.
Because I like cheeks. Unlike some people that are living in Tampa. I like some cheeks. I like some meat on my bone. Because he looked like he could cook.
America, again, I have to point out the uniqueness of the diversity in the community. The drag queen is getting ready to chop Brad Pitt.
Yeah, can't two bitches be having makeup in this house? Nah, because that's the vampire. He got on that powder and stuff. All I can use that is for highlight. No, and the redhead can't do it.
That's funny. That's hilarious. And Faye, Mo, I'm saving you for last. Of course, you know.
Figure.
And let's move to Faye. What?
Faye what?
Who are you shagging?
All right, so I would shag David. All right, because that's Kiefer Sutherland. He's crazy. That's Jack Bauer. Come on, shag me, baby. Shag me.
By the way, that's the bad boy of the three. I'm almost certain of it.
Bad boys are always good in bed.
And
you would know, right?
Hello.
You can tame a bad boy.
And I would marry Louis Dulac, which was his actual name in the movie. Definitely marry Brad Pitt, and then you get Antonio Banderas as added value. Also, I mean, come on. And I would chop George, because I mean, let's face it, after having power, George is not going to want me anyway.
Hashtag truth. All right, and we've saved our law enforcement guest host tonight. Mo, I'm just dying. Who are you shagging? No, wait. Let me reverse it. I don't want to assign any gender roles. Who may be shagging you?
Okay, I'm gonna go with George Lutz. I mean, that's a crazy bitch in that movie. He ends up killing everybody, domestic violence. I want to play the battered wife, like, I mustn't anger him. And
we know how you really get down. Yeah.
Oh, I angered him.
All right.
So Power and I can share him.
Wait, that's just wrong. It's just wrong. All right, that's what you're going to share.
Not making light of domestic violence.
Right. Okay, and we'll do a commercial for that next week. And who are you going to marry?
Louis, the Brad Pitt. Because I mean, come on, look at the outfits. We can go goth. He's there in New Orleans. We can go to Southern Decadence, all dressed up.
And he's kind of a questioning gay. You don't really quite know the Tom Cruise character.
Yeah, he'll bring me to the vampire side, and I'll bring you to the gay side.
You could be the third in the Louis and Tom Cruise equation.
He's got the biting down.
Yeah. All right. And David Kiefer is Chop. And why would you chop him?
Like you said, he's got like that little baby fat face, kind of. He looks smooth, and I'm like, not about the smooth.
The cheeks.
Yeah.
Cheeks.
All right. So it's a pre-Halloween edition of Shag, Marry, Chop. Tune in next week. Next Wednesday is right before Halloween. I suspect we're going to be doing something again, even a little racier for Halloween and Shag, Marry, Chop. All right, so we've come to the end of the show. And before we end It's Happening Out Tonight, we would like to introduce another one of our sponsors, and that is Jets Pizza. Everybody's getting ready to have Jets. It's a great... I'm watching the green screen here as it's going through. The pizza, this is Detroit style, big here in South Florida. This is the cauliflower, which I absolutely adore. I love the veggie pizza. And there's Jet Pizza all over the country. You should look at for Jets. And if you're here in South Florida, you definitely want to try it. And before we say goodnight and end our show, we want to give all of our hosts that participated tonight one final opportunity to say goodbye and goodnight. And let's start with Power Infiniti.
Well, first of all, I would like to thank Al and Josie. Yesterday, I had a chance to turn the tables on Al and play moderator and give him and Josie a little interview as they joined me for an online virtual voters rally event. And I would like to thank you guys very, very much for that. Everybody, please get out there, get motivated, get pumped to vote. Get out there and vote, and let's make a difference. And keep it right here every single week on It's Happening Out for the latest information and for all the key and the cackle.
Absolutely. And for America, wave a silent goodbye to Power Infiniti, because he's going to disappear after this evening. Bye, Power. Bye.
I'll be back.
I'll be back. And to say goodnight is Mo Laredo.
Well, good night, America. It's always a pleasure to be here. I want to say a happy shout out to my boo. Happy birthday.
And your boo's name is?
John Mason.
Right.
My little fuzzy bear from Maine. I'm going to piggyback on Power's goodbye, but everyone get out and vote early. Do not leave it for a last minute thing. Things come up. Stand in the rain, do what you got to do, grab a family member and force them to go out and vote.
Absolutely. Right. And saying good night to one of our drag extraordinaires here in South Florida, Tiffany Fantasia.
Hey, I love you guys so much. Thank you for having me once again. Come see me at the Palace. We are back open. We have, all the measurements. The safety measures are taken. And Mo, don't do that. You ain't ready. You believe in your man once you find out. Anyways, come see me at the Palace Wednesday nights, Friday brunch, Saturday night, and Sunday brunch. And as always, whatever you do in life, Don't be a dry hoe, be a greasy bitch.
And I'll let y'all in on a secret. We're all planning to, or many of us are planning to make a little secret rendezvous this Saturday night for Tiffany's show at the Palace. So if you want to come and meet all of us, I think we're going to be there. I'm pretty sure we're going to be. And we want to give the opportunity, radio host and YouTuber, Faye What?
Faye What? What's up, guys? I'm Faye, and please subscribe and like my YouTube channel. It's called Faye What, and I talk about recovery, I talk about dogs, I talk about LGBTQ stuff, so go on out and subscribe today. And I've been here with you guys for the last couple of weeks, and I just want to say how much fun it's been, and thank you so much for making me feel so welcome.
Yeah, absolutely, and you are welcome. And finally tonight, a good friend of mine, she is running for mayor of Wilton Manors, Florida. That is no inconsequential feat because it's the gayest place on planet Earth. It's our home here in Wilton Manors, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And to say goodnight is Chef Josie.
I want to say goodnight, neighbors. That's to all of our neighbors across the country, whoever's watching, wherever you're watching from, especially my neighbors here in Wilton Manors. You know, this is one of the most crucial moments in our lifetime, whether you're a millennial or Gen Z or Generation X or baby boomer. We have them all representing at this table, and that's why these conversations are important every single Wednesday night. So I say thank you on behalf of myself and all the rest of the crew. But if you're here in Florida or wherever you are, make sure you're getting out to vote. Vote, 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 and vote your conscience. Vote for the future. Vote for the generations to come. And if you're in Wilton Manors, vote Josie for mayor.
Right. And good night, America. We constantly remind you where in America is the LGBTQ community gathering and having a conversation like this. The diversity of the conversations that we have had tonight, the importance of the conversations that we've had tonight, the silliness of the conversations we've had tonight, and of course, let's not forget Shag, Marry, Chop. So it's here at It's Happening Out. We are the antidote to what we're watching in the world. I am vitally concerned about our mental health. I'm continuing to, there's a new poll that was released just yesterday that 50% of all LGBT people, young people between 11 and 18, have thought about suicide this year. 50%. 50%. And that is because of the election of what we're watching and COVID-19. We need to help each other. We need to stand for each other, and we need to laugh. It is a serious time. There is no question about it. But we need to laugh, and we also need to enjoy ourselves. And that's the principal purpose of why we're here and these hosts are here at It's Happening Out. So remember, if it's important to you, it's important here because it's important at It's Happening Out. Good night, America, and we'll see you next Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Good night.